Hello, this is Greg Allison from Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm, coming to you on the 30th of March 2020 from next to my log barn. And what I want to tell you is that while we've been distracted by a certain crud bug that's been running around the world, there's a lot of other news that you're just not hearing about anymore. In fact, hot spots around the world are continuing to smolder and flame up. Just this past weekend, on the 28th of March, in fact, Houthi rebels attacked Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, the capital of Saudi Arabia, with missiles. These missiles were, according to the Saudis, intercepted. However, according to the Houthis, they attacked with both missiles and drones into the sensitive economic areas of Riyadh. It just so happens that even though they claimed they were intercepted, residents were woken up at 11:20 p.m. on the 28th of March by multiple blasts, and there is video, reportedly, of these things actually impacting the ground. So claims of interception might be somewhat exaggerated. So having said that, also we might note that on the 12th of March, the U.S. conducted airstrikes on rebels inside of Iraq. These are Shiite militia groups that are backed by Iran. And General Mark Milley, chairman of the U.S. Chiefs of Staff, accused them of having attacked the United States with their Katyusha rockets the day before on the 11th of March. Reportedly, there was maybe 30 Katyusha rockets fired, with up to maybe 12 to 18 hitting inside the U.S. camp, Taji, I believe is how you pronounce it. I might not have that pronunciation exactly right, but there were 2 U.S. and 1 British serviceman killed in those attacks, so the U.S. retaliated against those. You probably didn't hear about that. Furthermore, of course, you know, our side says, hey, we're not going to tolerate such things, and we complained to Iraq about the lack of defense of our troops there. Supposedly, they're supposed to be defending our troops there while we're out helping to put down the remnants of ISIS. But they allow these Shiite-backed, these actually Iranian-backed Shiite militia groups to proliferate inside of Iraq, and they've been hitting our troops repeatedly. So just what kind of welcome we have there? And top of it, Iraq filed grievances in the UN claiming that we violated their sovereignty by attacking those Shiite militia groups that are reportedly Iranian-backed. So, all's not well in that neighborhood. Why are we even there? Why are our troops over there risking catching all this crud bug that's running around, especially coming out of their next door neighbor, Iran? So, I really think our boys just ought to come home. And the appreciation we seem to be giving and serving for them seems to be a little bit shy. Why are we even there? So, all that said, it is a hot spot. It could flame up. And there's, maybe there's a lot of people who would like to see tensions flare into full conflict between the United States and Iran, and that may yet happen. It just so happened that after the Iranians accidentally shot down 2 of their own aircraft taken off from the airport there in Tehran, the population turned against the Ayatollahs pretty firmly. But now that Iran has been able to accuse the U.S. of, and their own internal propaganda, releasing this crud into their country, if you know what I'm talking about, then yeah, they've kind of got the shoe back on the other foot and seem feeling free to cause mayhem once again. Let's hope that wiser heads prevail and the internal people get rid of the Ayatollahs. There's a lot of good people in Iran, a lot of good Persian people. The Iranians are Persians, and let's hope that they can prevail, those that love freedom, and get rid of the Ayatollahs. And similarly, let's hope the same thing can happen with the CCP. It just so happens that the CCP on the 10th of March had made some statements talking. They had a panel of their so-called experts talked about defending the South China Sea against U.S. military ships that were just going through the area, or U.S. ships otherwise, and they claimed they would hit them with electromagnetic pulse weapons. Well, electromagnetic pulse is technically mostly derived from a high-altitude nuke, or a nuclear device. Now, yeah, you can create other RF bursts that have similar effect at high energy over shorter distances. They did talk about things that would jam our equipment, and then they talked about the use of low-powered lasers. And in particular, the one expert on the Chinese side who aside from having to talk about this was Song Zongping. And Song Zongping had mentioned the use of these low-powered lasers and other EM weapons to paralyze our ships rather than attack them directly. That is something of a direct attack still. Especially the lasers could actually damage instrumentation. One of the lasers, they did blind instrumentation. They're not an EM interference weapon per se. They are more a weapon that you would launch against or fire against sensors, or you might use them to burn holes in things or blind troops. So if you can blind a sensor, you could probably blind a soldier, a navyman. Not a good thing. And in fact, the Chinese were accused of actually firing one of these laser weapons on a U.S. aircraft on 17 February. Did you know about any of that? So there's still a lot of stuff going on. There's still tension in the world. You're not hearing so much about it now, but it could flare up. And the reason I tell you this is just so you can keep your eyes wide open and head on a swivel. There are a lot of things coming at us. We're on a track, and many trains seem to be coming down that track. Or maybe we're at the intersection of a few tracks somewhere in a tunnel. And we need to be able to know where to jump and where the light at the end of the tunnel is the light to the outside or the locomotive coming at us. To do that, you need to be really aware of what's going on in the world. So please think about that. Keep your eyes open. Be aware. That's what I'm trying to teach you. In my channel, my proposition is to help you to stay aware, prepare, and excuse me, to survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. Do not be scared, to be prepared. And I do a lot of videos on this kind of things. So do subscribe to my channel if you trust what I'm saying. Bang the update notification bell and click all for future videos. I do many on a wide range of subjects. I've not touched on this subject too much lately because the other distractions have been rather interesting. But I do cover other things. I will continue to cover things and topics such as how to eat from the trees and the weeds and how to grow your own food in your own garden. These are things that you really need to know now more than ever. And it should be becoming readily available, apparent to you as food resources and other resources start to get a little bit more scarce, not only due to the crud, but to other impending things of climate, such as I'm standing in the rain right now. Didn't I talk just recently about food shortages and rain? I wasn't complaining about myself, my friends. I was warning you that you need to grow your own gardens. I'll be fine here. I got raised beds. I have hand tools. I can garden. It's the big farms that produce a lot of that food that you're going to have a problem with. You need to grow your own nutritious food. So do check my links below. I have links to True Leaf Market, from which you can buy heirloom seeds to grow your own food. I have links below to preparewithgreg.com, or just type in preparewithgreg.com for a long-term food storage, which you'd do well to buy and get it right now. Also, for worms, www.greengregs.com, links below. You can support my channel by hitting any of those links, using any of them. It will help me out. So please take care of yourself. Be aware. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Don't panic. We are in a situation where some people are starting to panic, especially the toilet paper hoarders. Quite a panic for having toilet paper. And, you know, it's a respiratory disease, my friends. Why do you need to buy all the toilet paper for a respiratory disease? So all that said, now I'm not talking about that stuff going on. I'm really just here to tell you that there's other things going on in the world. So don't keep your eye off the ball. Keep your eye wide open. Because sometimes when things are going on hot and heavy over here, it's when something sneaks up on you on the other side. And that's maybe when you need to be aware the most. And that's why I'm talking to you now, just to let you know that I'm still here watching out for you. And if these things get over the tops, I've known about these things for weeks. But there's been other big stories, and so I haven't said too much about it. The other news media hadn't said too much about the United States because people's attention are fixed otherwhere. But you do need to be aware that these other things are still cooking. Our power grid is definitely at risk, and I will be covering that more in a future video. There are some specific risks I'm worried about, concerns with our power grid, especially now. Quite a few. Anyway, so just take care of yourselves. Remember, keep your immune system up. Maintain good hygiene, social distancing. do your part to keep you and your neighbors safe. Don't spread things around. You might be fine, but you could always spread something to someone who's susceptible. Then it's on you. Don't do it. So be careful, and bless everyone who watches this from the greater Creator. I don't speak for him, by the way, but I'm just wishing the blessings upon you. So I just want to wish everyone the best. Thank you for watching.